Welcome to The Know, I'm Brian. Microsoft announced that it's already working hard on the next Xbox, and now we might already have a release date for it? Okay, a release year for it. The tech site Thurrott reports that the project is codenamed Scarlet, and the new console could release by 2020. Of course, given the fact that the Xbox One released in 2013, that would make sense given the life cycle of consoles. We're getting almost to that time. And you might remember at Microsoft's presentation at E3, Xbox boss Phil Spencer did say that they were deep into architecturing the next Xbox consoles. But did you catch that? Consoles with an S. Yeah, we're also hearing that this could be a family of consoles instead of just one. Obviously, this is still all very rumory, but it is another sign that this generation of consoles is drawing to a close. FORTNITE for the Switch launched yesterday, and gamers are super pissed. Not because of the game itself, but because of crossplay issues. Epic Games PR representative Nick Chester said that the Switch version supports crossplay with Xbox One, PC, Mac, and mobile. Obviously, though, that's leaving out one big player, the PlayStation 4. And what's more, the reason why people are mad, PS4 players can't log into their Epic accounts on the Switch, which means that you can't have any weekly progress carryover or access any of your skins or emotes. That's because your Epic account is apparently tied up with your PSN username in most cases, which sucks. I played it on the Switch yesterday. I noticed the exact same issue. I couldn't log in with my Epic account because it was tied to my PS4. This has caused a huge outcry online. Hopefully Sony will fix the issue because honestly, it's complete bullshit. Y'all need to fix it. All right, moving on. It looks like The Last of Us 2 will see a return of the multiplayer mode from the first game. While we saw a lot of single player comment in the gameplay from E3, officials from Naughty Dog confirmed that multiplayer will be returning in the sequel. In an interview with GameSpot, game director Kurt Margineau said that Factions mode is coming back in the sequel, but while he confirmed that multiplayer will be returning, he said they're not yet ready to talk about what form that takes. Still no release date yet on the game. We will keep you posted. Now, Nintendo fans noticed that something was missing in yesterday's E3 Direct, any mention of Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, last year at E3, we got a logo and an announcement that they were working on the game for the Switch, but this year, nothing, zero. Well, it turns out that there's a reason for that. Game Informer asked Nintendo of America's marketing manager, Bill Trinan, about why there wasn't any Metroid Prime 4 this year, and he said, it's not ready. Trinan said, I think the main thing is, as people have probably realized by now, we show things when we think we're ready to show them. And when we think we're ready to show Metroid Prime, we'll show Metroid Prime. He said that Nintendo usually just shows games that will release in the immediate future. Of course, last year was kind of an exception, but he said that last year when the Switch was brand new, they looked at things that were maybe a little further out. So there you go. CD Projekt Red showed off some gameplay of its much anticipated new IP, Cyberpunk 2077. The big news is that it's a first-person shooter. Although you will be able to see your character in cutscenes, so that's something. But yeah, they showed off some gameplay to various news outlets, and in the game, you are going to play as a character named V, who is described as a, quote, hired gun on the rise in Night City, the most violent and dangerous metropolis of the corporate-ruled future. You can also choose your character's class, their background, and gender. There are also RPG elements in the combat. You'll get to see damage numbers pop off your target, similar to Destiny. You'll also have the ability to do things like slow down time during combat. That's according to IGN, and there will also be vehicles you can drive. The game will also feature stats outside of combat, like a street cred stat and a cool stat that can be raised by things like wearing a sweet jacket, just like real life. Well, it looks like Steam is headed to China. Valve is partnering with the Chinese company Perfect World, which makes a lot of MMOs, and they're going to bring a localized version of Steam to the country, which will be called Steam China. Easy enough. They made it official in a press release this week, but didn't give it a release date. The two companies had partnered up before. Perfect World is the official Chinese distributor of Dota 2 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and that is a deal in China because the government requires foreign companies to partner with a Chinese one to do business there. The press release also talked about, quote, a new way for developers and players to access Steam's content, but didn't give any details. All right, fighting fans, get excited. Dragon Ball FIGHTERZ is releasing on the Switch later this year. Nintendo announced it in a trailer, but didn't give an exact release date other than 2018. The game is being developed at Arc System Works, and it will support single Joy-Con play as well as the Switch Pro controller. Of course, it's already out for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It's been very well received, so definitely a big win for fighting game fans on the Switch. All right, let's talk about some Star Wars news and some kind of what-if Star Wars news. When George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, he offered up his ideas for the new trilogy, and apparently Disney said thanks, but no thanks. Now we know why. While talking with James Cameron for his Story of Science Fiction series on AMC, Lucas revealed his initial plans for the sequel trilogy, saying they were going to get into a microbiotic world, but there's this world of creatures that operate differently than we do. I call them the Wills, and the Wills are the ones who actually control the universe. They feed off the Force. If I'd held on to the company, I could have done it. He also added, a lot of fans would have hated it. It sounds like his original concept for the sequel trilogy is basically midichlorians all over again. So he's right. We dodged a midichlorian coated bullet in that one. Fans would have probably really hated it. So yeah, honestly, it kind of still sounds better than Solo though. I might have checked that out. All right, filming on the Wonder Woman sequel is currently underway, and today we got our first look at the movie, which seems to be officially titled Wonder Woman 1984, because remember it's set in the 80s, and boy, it seems to be earning that title. Warner Brothers released 2 still photos from the film. One of them features a big reveal. Chris Pine is back, and he's wearing a serious 80s tracksuit. The other image has Diana looking at a wall of TV screens, showing off everything from National Lampoon's Vacation to Dallas. That's about as 80s as you get. But how is Steve Trevor alive? Why is he hanging out in a mall in the 80s? Probably because that's all we fucking did in the 80s. So many questions. But we only have to wait until November of 2019 to find out. You know, when it comes to Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, they aren't their only big money makers. Disney has also been seriously raking in the dough with their live-action remakes of their animated classics. That all started when Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland made over $1 billion at the box office, so it's no surprise that the studio would pair Burton up with another animated movie from Disney's past. This time it's Dumbo, and they've released the first trailer for it. The movie is focused on a dad who is trying to hold his family together while working at a traveling circus, and will of course feature a cute, giant-eared flying elephant baby. The trailer shows a few key moments that we remember from the animated movie, like Dumbo's mom trapped in a cage, and even what looks to be a pink elephant. Surely, though, those scenes won't be as traumatizing as the original film was. It was kind of scarring. Dumbo flies onto theater screens March 2019. All right, that's all the news we've got for today, but be sure to keep it locked on our channel. We've got all kinds of developer interviews from E3 today. We're live streaming a ton, so keep it locked in, and from all your news from every corner of the internet, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the Know. I'm still here. We're still making videos in Austin. We got you covered. We going?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're always going, Brian.
Oh, we didn't see shit about Red. Oh, Rockstar doesn't do it.
Rockstar said fuck off.
That's when you know you're big time.